Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Media Mania Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the Media Maverick, Mike Weldon, and today I'm joined by the okayest wrestler in the world. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Thank you for taking the time to come on. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to hear this story of how this came to be.
of how I became okay.
Yeah, the most okayest wrestler in the world.
So how I became the most okayest wrestler in the world. So it just happened one day when I was becoming a little professional wrestler in the great Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia. I was sitting there training, just doing my thing, and I realized, hey, my shoot name is Ophi Kessler. The initials for that is OK. So why don't I just make that my name for professional wrestling and say that I am the okayest wrestler in the world? Because I truly am. Um, and then after that, it just became me. It became okay. And I've then since became the okayest wrestler in the world for the past 3 years, just doing the most wacky, silly, amazing, no, okayest things people can do.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, I researched all my guests, and when I was looking at some of the clips of yours, I've seen this one page that had a clip of you, and it's got almost 300,000 views. And I just like for for the guy that's just okay to get 300,000 views, like you're doing something right.
There's no sugar added in this apple juice.
So, what was your training like? Like, who did you get to train with, and like, how long were you training before you had your first match?
So actually, it was 1 month before I had my first match, which is
Mhm.
crazy, and it shouldn't have happened like that, to be honest. Um, but it just happened out of the spur of the moment. I was 1 month
Okay.
training. It was in an 8-man tag match. But then after that, I continued to train for another 7 months until I graduated from that said school. Continued to train to that school until it ended in July. Then I started training at Boogie's Wrestling Camp for a while there. And then after going back and forth between that, I started to go to Appalachian Championship Wrestling School, which, sorry, this apple juice is getting to me. Um,
Very good.
and I started training ever since at the Appalachian Championship Wrestling School, doing that in boogies back and forth just whenever I can.
So you got to train under one of a legend. You got to train with a legend, the Boogie Jimmy Valiant. That is right. Just that is a feather in your cap that no one can take. You have to train with the Boogie Woogie Boy, Jimmy Valiant, handsome Jimmy. That
Handsome Jimmy.
that's
He is
awesome.
handsome.
I'm sure you have some stories of your time training with him. And that's amazing. What was that? What was it like getting to train with someone like Boogie?
Man, it's an amazing experience, man. Like his whole training facility at his camp,
Hmm.
it's just a bunch of memorabilia of just him with a bunch of wrestlers like throughout his whole past when he's been wrestling. And there's like so much. Literally, there's only pictures and stuff of Boogie and a bunch of people. There's no wall or anything. It's just a bunch of him and a bunch of wrestlers and a bunch of other things that other like trainees that were there at the school when they were training were able to put their like promo pictures and stuff like that on the wall, which is very cool. Uh, I enjoy wrestling. I enjoy wrestling and training there. They also, it's very unique too. The way they have their ring. Their ring is an actual old boxing ring that is cemented into the ground, and it
Okay.
is a very unique experience. To be honest, it hurts a lot. I'll say it's one of the more tougher rings in wrestling to do anything in because the landing is a little bit harder because not
Okay.
only is it all boxing ring, it's 12 by 12 and it's
Hmm.
cemented into the ground. But there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I
Okay.
enjoy it up there.
When you were training under Boogie, did you ever get to meet Gary Valiant? Cause like, did he ever come around to help do any of the training?
I don't think so. No,
No.
no, no.
Okay. So, have you gotten to share a locker room or like be at shows with some like with like WWE guys, WCW guys, guys that have been like an AEW? Have you gotten to share a locker room with any of them? And if so, have you gotten to ask them for any advice that's you just wanted to ask for?
Yeah, man. I've gotten to actually share the ring with the Sandman this past couple months ago at his show. It was
Okay.
second to last match. And it was in a battle royal. It was a really good experience. He he's a goofball in his own mind. Very very talented. Very like he's a very smart man. Like I know he like crashes beers and has a kendo stick and
Mhm.
just you don't think he like has a sense of like a sense of mind. But that man is a very smart man when it comes to this business, and I think
Did,
anybody that can pick his brain should 100% do because he's got a lot of knowledge in the business.
did you get to take a shot from this Singapore cane?
Um, yeah, yeah, I did right in the dome, right in the dome. Did
How
not feel good. Did not
did it
feel good
leave
at
any?
all.
Did it leave a mark on you?
I I don't know. It was right. It was right here. I have no idea.
Okay.
I couldn't see
Okay.
it all.
So, who are your inspirations that got you wanting to be a professional? Like, who did you grow up watching and you say, I want to be like that guy?
So, when I first started watching wrestling, I had a like one DVD, and that's all I really had. I didn't grow up with a bunch of wrestling. Like, okay, I grew up with a bunch of wrestling stuff, but like when I
Hmm.
was like 5, I didn't know anything. But then I got a DVD of The Undertaker, and that's when I first started watching wrestling. And the only thing I seen was like 15-0 of The Undertaker, and that's all I watched for like a year. Because all I know that wrestling was about was just some dead man that was just tearing a bunch of shit up. But then there's just a bunch of other like then I just got introduced like one day just like scrolling through TV of John Cena versus CM Punk, and that was really that really just locked me in right there. Then I got introduced to Jeff Hardy, Primo Cologne, Yoshitatsu, a lot of big names that just I enjoy watching. To be honest, that got an
Okay.
inspiration for me was Primo Cologne very much. Not so
Okay.
much nowadays 'cause I'm trying to get a match with bro, but he won't answer,
Okay.
so it's okay. Whatever.
So, so, so when you were training to become a professional wrestler, did you have in your mind that what kind of wrestling what kind of style you wanted to have in the ring? Like, you have so many different styles. There was like you have strong style, you have lucha libre, you have catch wrestling. Like, what kind of style did you want to have?
See, I wanted to create my own style, which I think I have. I think I've created my own style. The OK style. I don't know if you've seen
Okay.
it. Whenever, yeah,
Hmm.
I do my own little thing. I put my own little twist into it. It's all of mixed martial arts combined with okayness into one, and it just makes the most okayest move set in the world. I think, and I think it works out pretty well for me.
Okay. And you've been in the business. How long have you been in the business now?
3 years.
3
June
years.
made 3 years.
That's amazing. 3 years, and you've gotten to train with Jimmy Valiant. You've gotten to share a ring with Sandman. Like, in 3 years in the business, you've already like had so much. Like, that some wrestlers not even a year into their career have not gotten to do in their first year. So that's amazing. That's a lot. Like, quite a few feathers in your cap.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So the gear that you wear, do you design the gear and you just send it to someone to have them put it onto the actual like clothes that you wear in the ring, or do you do all that yourself?
So what I do, I have an idea in my mind of what I want
Hmm.
on gear, and I send that to a graphic designer to make, and he makes an amazing thing of design. His name's King Kobe. He makes an amazing design of my gear that I have in my mind, like envisioned in my mind. He makes it exactly how I want it, and it's amazing. Then I send it over to JCJ Gear. Jesus, applesauce, bro. Dang, what do they make this with? Sorry. But then they gets fuck my bad. This apples. I'm gonna say applesauce. Uh, uh, the gear design gets sent over to JCJ Gear,
Uh-huh.
which he makes Javon Evans. the Usos gear, LA Knight, all their gear, and he does it for a reasonable price, and he gets it done like super fast. It takes like 10 to 12 weeks, I think, and it gets done just like
Okay.
that, and it's amazing because he has already a busy schedule with making a bunch of
All
other
right.
people's gear.
So I'm sure you've seen this happen to wrestlers, like where they'll go to an airport and they'll have their luggage lost with their gear in it. Do you have like a backup set of gear? That way, if you have something like that happen to you, do you have like another set of gear that you can just go to on the fly and like grab?
Um, well, I never really ran into that. I know of lot like I haven't been able to bring knee pads, so I borrow other people's knee pads before, but I've never.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, there was actually. Now I'm thinking about there was one time where I actually I forgot my gear. I was all the way in North Carolina in Mountain Airy, and I forgot my gear. Tyler Osborne, thank God, had two pairs of gear. It did not suit me or anything like that at all, but there was
Hmm.
something. It was something to wear, and I actually got there's footage of it and pictures, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
And I'm in this like cosmic pants, and that doesn't even suit me at all. But I had it on for the shits and giggles of it.
Okay. So what do fans of indie wrestling, what do they not get to see that goes on behind the scenes with like before you go to that show? Or what do they not get to see? Like, what do they? I'm sure you see like some of these indie wrestlers. They have to drive hours and hours from town to town just to make the next show. And what do the fans not see that happens with after a show ends or before a show starts?
They don't see like because a lot of the wrestlers there like they don't get to see like us tear up the ring and tear down the ring because a lot of us that's what we do. That's what
Yeah.
call paying dues. That's what all wrestlers do. They don't see us being like putting up the ring and tearing down the ring. There's no most of the time there's no ring crew. There's like very few times there is ring crew and they tell us just don't worry about it. And that's like it is a beautiful moment in those times where you
Okay.
don't have to touch the ring. But majority of the time, like I have a show tomorrow, I gotta go help set up and tear it down. Jesus, dude. Excuse me. But
I've never seen an indie show like I don't think I've ever been to an indie show on a Tuesday. So that's like I would like if I could go to an indie show on a Tuesday, that'd be a rare thing for me. But so what does the okayest wrestler do after a show? Like say it's like late at night after a show and you're hungry. Like is there like a go-to place that you want to go to? Like if you're tired, you're
yeah,
like you're exhausted after your match.
see, me and the boys all know that after the show, you gotta hit the Applebee's because the Applebee's is the only place to go. And there's not an Applebee's, we go to B Dubs. And if there's no B Dubs, we just gotta make a Sheets run because Sheets always comes in clutch because they're 24/7. And it's awesome.
No Waffle House? You don't have a
We
Waffle
don't
House for you?
we don't actually around the areas that like in West Virginia at all. When I was in West, we don't have a Waffle House like at all. There's no Waffle House in West Virginia.
That's crazy. I've never heard of this. Like, as a southern state too, I'm surprised by there's not a Waffle House.
Yeah, I'm so glad because in Tennessee I wrestled in Tennessee Saturday and they actually did have a Waffle House and we stayed a night down there and I told because I was riding out with Gen Z and Nate Satter and I told them like we are going to this Waffle House. I don't care because Gen Z doesn't really is not really a big fan of it, but I
Hmm.
tell them like we are going to this freaking Waffle House. I love Waffle House personally. It is one of my favorite places to go, and they were saying like they wasn't going, but no, Gen Z said he wasn't going. But I told him I don't care. I'm the one driving. We are going to this freaking Waffle House. And guess what? We went to that freaking Waffle House, and I tipped her well because we finally made it to a Waffle House. Thank God.
So
Mm.
I gotta ask the question. This is from another. There's another wrestling content creator. He asks this to all the wrestlers he interviews. What is your Waffle House order?
Uh, I get the All Star Breakfast. Is that's literally my
Okay.
go-to. Everything that's just on there. It's just the hash browns, the sausage, the scrambled eggs, just a regular waffle and toast.
Okay.
That's just what I get.
All right. So before you go out through the curtain, is there anything you do to get yourself in that mindset before you go through that curtain? Like you listen to a certain song? Do you like just do a couple like warm up exercises?
Um, I like to See, I have these like cables that I like to do. I just like to get pumped
Mhm.
up with that. Pacing around, thinking about what I'm going to eat after the show, um, what content I'm going to make also after the show. Um, Let me see. How am I? Because a lot of times I go to work right after wrestling. So am I going to be late
Okay.
and get bitched at by my boss? Um,
Okay.
and if I want like some apple juice or something, also.
So, does the OK as wrestler like? Are there any countries that you want to go wrestle in? Like, would it be Japan, Mexico, Canada, the UK?
Um, I want to wrestle in Puerto Rico, 100%. Puerto Rico's
Okay.
very high on my list, or Aruba. Aruba's pretty cool. I want to wrestle in Aruba.
Are there any promotions, whether they're in the states or overseas, that you want to go work for? Like, I don't. It doesn't even have to be a major promotion. It could be like a super indie or just a regular indie show.
Primo Cologne has a promotion in Puerto Rico called WWC. I really want to work for. I like
Okay.
his promotion.
Well, I've I've got to interview a few talents that have gotten to go down there and do some work for his show. So and they had nothing but good things to say. So I hope that works out for you.
Appreciate it, man.
Um. So is there anywhere fans can go and support the OKS wrestler? Like, is there like where like where are you on socials? Like, where can they follow you on social? Like, I know you're on Instagram. Where else could they follow you?
You can follow me on TikTok and YouTube at the Okest Wrestler. I just posted a new vlog actually where I did a 3-day loop of going to different promotions in West Virginia. TikTok, I try to post on there at least every single day, at least once. Um, Find me on there. Again, Instagram at the OKS Wrestler. I post on here too a lot, posting stories. Facebook, you can add me on there at OK. Um, I post a lot of things, different shows that I'm going to, um, what matches I'll be doing, and stuff like that. So definitely go check those out 100%.
Okay. And if fans wanted to like go buy some OK
Oh,
merch,
yeah.
uh, where could they
Uh,
go get it from?
they can go to prowrestlingtees.com/OK
Yep.
tees, and they can get
If
themselves
you
an OK t shirt whenever they
yeah,
want.
so if y'all scan that QR code in your top left hand corner, it'll take you right to the OK's Wrestlers Pro Wrestling T store. So make sure you pick up some OK's Wrestler merch when
100%.
you can. So so what would you leave our listeners with? Like if they watch this and say, "Hey, I like this guy. This guy's okay." What would you leave them with?
I'll leave them with this. If you ever think that you're down and you don't know what to do, get you some apple juice because this is very, very good and very delicious. And it
Well,
has no
ladies and
acid, and there's no sugar added. Did you see that part? There's no sugar added.
no sugar added. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank my awesome guest, the okayest wrestler in the world, for coming on, giving me some of his time, getting to hear some of his stories, some laughs, and he's gotten to enjoy his apple juice on the episode. So, I want to thank him for coming on and giving me some of his time. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever watch the ending of any episode of the Media Mania podcast, I have been your host, as always, the Media Master Mike Weld, and this has been my guest, the okayest wrestler in the world. And make sure you gotta catch us on the flip side.
Thank you.